Hello everyone, welcome to William in the Magic Box. Today on our show, we're going to have Geoffrey. Geoffrey is from Florida in the USA. So let's see what Geoffrey has to say. Enjoy the interview. So hello Geoffrey, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. And thank you for having me here today, too. I'm excited to be here.
The pleasure is all mine. Thanks so much for taking the time for the interview. Appreciate your time for sure. So
My
tell me,
pleasure.
how's your week going so far?
So far this week has been moving at the speed of a blink of an eye. Yesterday feels like Sunday, and it's already Thursday. So if that gives you some idea. Yeah, no complaints, though. How I like it.
So tell me, what has been the highlight of your week so far?
Well, definitely so far, the highlight has just been what I do professionally, working with clients and always having new challenges positioned in front of me to work with them to help them solve and to help them overcome and get through. So that's genuinely something that I go to bed at night very
Uh-huh.
excited about the next day to wake up and to be of service and to help, to make an impact.
I see. And what do you do for work for living?
I'm an alignment strategist.
So tell me a little bit more about your career, your job.
Yeah. So, as an alignment strategist is someone who is going to focus on alignment first, strategy second. I'll let you ask some more questions to go a little bit deeper into that if you want me to, because there's a few directions I can take this. Because alignment strategist, I do fully realize and I'm aware it's an abstract term, and what does it really mean? But nonetheless, it's becoming increasingly more and more and more important
I see.
as the future starts to unfold because it's literally 100%. It creates a demarcation line in the sand of essentially those that are going to continue to evolve and thrive in their businesses and grow, lead, and inspire from many others who will end up staying stuck right where they are, or even worse, left behind. So I'll lead with that and let you ask the specific questions that I can unpack for you.
I see. So tell me where you're from, Geoffrey.
Originally Boston,
Born and raised?
born and raised, came to Florida when I was 18 years old. Came here for college, graduated,
Uh-huh.
stayed, have been here ever since. I love
What's
Florida. Florida's my home.
Also you're based in Florida right now, but you're born in Boston.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Besides the weather, what's the biggest difference between Florida and Boston?
Wow. Well, you already said it, the weather. That's what keeps people here, to be truthful. It's the weather is absolutely phenomenal. But outside of that, it's the lifestyle. It's the flow, it's the energy, the vibe. I believe that for a lot of people, when they move to places, a place can look wonderful in the catalog. You can read about it, you can watch videos on it, it can seem amazing. Weather checks out, whole nine yards. But until you actually get there, and immerse yourself in the environment, then you know. And how do you know? Well, it's a resonance. Either you resonate with the area and it
Mhm.
just has that feeling of home inside of you, or it doesn't. And yeah,
Perfect.
Florida for me was very welcoming, and the rest is history. I've been here for, what am I? I'm 50, so 32 years.
Wow. And where's about in Florida are you based?
I'm in South Florida. I'm in Boca Raton, just north of Fort Lauderdale, south of West Palm Beach.
I see. Amazing.
Yeah.
Geoffrey, so I always ask my guests on the show during the beginning of the interview to bring something that means a lot to them. That could be a gift, that could be an object, could be a picture. Is there anything you could share with us?
Oh, 110%. I got it right here. Let me grab this for you. So right here, I'm going to show you and explain to you what this is. So I travel a lot. and I've been all over the world. In fact, I've been to Brazil many, many times for surfing, but for all, just also to enjoy the country. But that being said, I have this belief, at least that applies to me, at least, that every time I travel,
Uh-huh.
I'm picking up pieces of myself. I'm finding myself deeper and deeper. So when I pick a destination, I'm not going on you. No, I'm not looking for recommendations. I literally go inside myself and ask, where is my soul telling me to go? And it could be
Right.
anywhere. I'm not judging, I'm not questioning, I'm listening. So every place I've gone is extremely special and it has its own significance and its own meaning. So when people ask me to share something that's, near and dear to myself, and again, part of my beliefs too is when I go places, I don't care about souvenir stuff. I want authenticity. I want what's real.
Yeah.
So on one of my trips, which was to a very special place called Sedona, Arizona, which is one of the few places on planet Earth, there's a few of them that have natural vortexes
Wow.
where the trees grow spiral because of the energy coming out of the earth. Now,
Wow.
what makes Sedona so special is it's very, very, very energy rich to the tune where you can feel it. And the
Wow.
Indians, talk to the local Indians. They have some stories. Long story short, and I asked the Indians, what I'm about to show you, I asked permission before I took anything. I asked if it would be okay if I took a few stones back with me, and they said absolutely. So this stone right here is from what is called the Cathedral Rock Vortex. And when I've showed many people it, and I've had them sit down, close their eyes, start breathing. Breathe in for four, hold for four, exhale for four. Put the stone in the palm of your hand and just quiet your mind. You
Wow.
can feel it. You can feel the energy coming off of it. It's amazing. Now, I did have one person come over here and say, "Are you sure they didn't do nuclear tests back in the 50s?" And I was like, "Well, wait a second. No, I'm just kidding." But no, it's very special, and it has, whatever that energy is termed as, whatever specific, whatever it's called, it has it, and you can feel it. And I
Wow.
have an altar in my office, which I meditate in front of, and this is right there in front of it. So,
Wow.
yeah,
Amazing. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate for sure. Beautiful.
yeah.
Are you here with me?
Oh, I'm right here. Yep.
Amazing. Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Let's do it. Absolutely. Would love
Welcome
to.
to Ian and the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Wonderful questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just for us to relax before the first question, okay?
Nice.
Let's do it. Right, before we start the interview, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about or you don't want to answer, always can change, okay? Amazing. First question is, what do you think are the best traits for a person to have?
Best traits.
Yeah.
That comes down, every individual's unique. Let's put it that way. And everybody has a purpose. Good cannot exist without bad. All right. So there's always polarity, and polarity is created by the universe, God, whatever faith someone walks for a reason. So with that being said, I will intentionally avoid all the common ones and get right to the root of it. And there's only one trait that I'm ever really truly concerned about when it comes to meeting people and interacting with people is authenticity. Know
Wow.
who you are, be who you are, be about who you are. I do not have to agree with you. I do
Mhm.
not have to see eye to eye with you.
Love
But if
that.
you are showing up as who you are, and that is who you are, I can still respect you.
I love your answer. Wow. And saying that, what's the biggest joy of being you? What do you like the most about being Geoffrey?
What do I like about being Geoffrey?
Yeah.
I'm I suppose I'm discovering that every single day. I do like being Geoffrey. I have no complaints with being Geoffrey, even though there are times that Geoffrey does complain. Geoffrey is definitely not perfect, that's for darn sure. And he's growing
Wow,
like everybody else.
wow,
But but a way of answering that is I'm just grateful. I really am. I'm grateful. I remind myself every day how lucky I am to
wow,
be able to do what it is I'm able to do. I remind myself how blessed I am to have the clients that I have and that, my business has grown almost entirely from word of mouth.
wow,
All those times in the past, the trials, the tribulations, the hills, valleys, twists and turns when you're just ready to give up, or you just thought like, hey, maybe I'm not cut out for this, or maybe this isn't for me. And just like you realizing and learning that every one of those moments was nothing more than a test. And that
totally,
as you persevered and pushed through, that was the classroom. And when you got through to the other side, class was over. And now it was time to move on. So I hope that answers your question.
totally. Tell me three
Yeah.
things that you are most grateful for.
Well, the first thing I'm most grateful for is God and allowing me to do what it is I do. Because without Him, I don't know where I would be. I probably would not be here. Number two, the second most grateful thing I'm for is, well, for my birth, for my parents, my family.
Wow,
Again, I wouldn't be here without them. And then number three would definitely be my clients and my friends and my inner circle, because without their love and their support, it's tough. It's tough for a plant or a flower to grow without sunlight.
totally.
So my friends, clients, my inner circle is without a doubt my sunlight.
Wow.
And yeah, I could sit here for 2 hours, singing their praises. I really could, because that's how I feel it in my heart right now. I love them all. They're very precious to me.
I love that. And I totally agree with you. I think we never get anywhere alone. Never. We need support. We need people around us, people to contribute to us, people to make us learn as well. So I think it's all journey. And I think that's the beauty about life, navigating through life, knowing that and being grateful. I get your point for sure. Amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, next question is, who was your favorite teacher and why?
Ah, I love that question. My absolute favorite teacher out of them all was Morishi Ushaba. And never met him, but I learned through his spirit. So I spent many years of my life in my 20s and even my 30s studying Aikido. And prior to getting involved in Aikido, I'd been involved in karate, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but when I got involved in Aikido, it opened up another inside of me.
Oh,
And where the lock really got, opened and cracked wide open was one little phrase that came from his mouth, passed down to my teacher, passed to me.
wow,
And it goes like this: you cannot move someone until you connect with them first.
great
If
point. Wow,
and when you think about that, Aikido has no attacks.
wow,
It's all about, well, Ushiba's his intention was to literally create world peace through Aikido, because it's what I consider to be and consider to be an alpha martial art, because the goal is not to hurt the other person. The goal is to communicate to the other person that they're not going to hurt you. And
wow,
eventually, when they realize that, they stop attacking. And this is how we start to blend together. So you're showing them control, you're showing them restraint, you're showing them compassion, and you're showing them love. Because eventually, if they keep throwing punches and kicks at you, whatever they're doing, they're going to get tired. It's good. It's tiring. They're going to run
totally,
out of energy, and they're going to say to themselves subconsciously, they're going to say, "Wow, if I can't land on this person, and even when I sometimes get close to them, they blend, we connect with the energy and redirect it. they're choosing not to hurt me when they could. What's up with that? Gets them a little confused. And after that, they realize that's not what you're about. That's your
Wow.
character. That's your identity. That's who you are. And that's real power. Real power is not never pulling out your sword. That's real power. Pulling out your sword means you've gone weak. So that phrase not just only applies to martial arts, it applies to business, it applies to life, it applies to anything. We need to connect first before we're going to move.
And what's the meaning of life for you when you think about life?
Well, my meaning of life, everybody I believe has a different outlook on that. But
Mhm.
a long time ago in my early 20s, especially when I left, well, even before when I left Massachusetts when I was 18, I realized something very important. My mission, which is tied to the meaning, is to evolve. Because the way I grew up and where I grew up, there a lot of, let's just put it, a lot of people I grew up with stayed up there. They went off to college, they went all over the country, around the world to college, but then most of them came back. And for me, it just wasn't in my cards to stick around because
Right.
I grew up there, but I didn't internally, like I couldn't, if you had asked me this then, there's no way I could have articulated this back then. It would have been a mush mouth of words. But I've had a lot of years to reflect.
Wow.
And the way I frame it is like this. And I know I'm not the only one who's experienced this because you grow up in an environment, you see it, live it, experience, hear the sounds, the sense, everything that comes with it. But yet there's something inside of you, like in there,
Wow.
that says go.
Totally. Yes.
And my family didn't want me to go. My friends were like, "Oh, I can't believe you're going to Florida. You're so lucky." And I'm thinking to myself, just got a plane ticket. You can do it too. It's not that hard. Anyhow, so I just knew that if I stayed up there, life would have been completely different. And to follow that, it's bizarre because at a very early age, I started trusting myself when it happens for most people a lot later. But again, I just needed to get out of there. So I was like, whatever happens in Florida happens in Florida. I'll deal with it when I get there. And then
Wow.
turned out loving it. So
Amazing. I relate to you, Geoffrey. When I was 19, this
mhm.
voice was so loud that I left Brazil when I was 19 and I moved all the way alone to Europe. So
Wow.
imagine.
It,
It's a beautiful journey. I'm gonna write a book about it one day. It's been an amazing journey. Challenges up and down as normal as life. And I can't wait one day to put everything on paper because, I'm so grateful for life for present me this opportunity. Because my God, I was 19. When I think about it at the time, now I'm conscious about age, but at the time, about the voice was just like screaming loud. I got goosebumps saying that. I just need it, you know what I mean? It was even a need. It was part of me, you know what I mean? That I needed. Long story short, that's how,
I
I gave
love
this
it.
big step when I was 19-year old. Leave my mom crying in the airport. I remember that, and literally going to a direction that's not knowing, didn't know what would happen and could go really wrong, at the same time as well. I
Totally.
always felt blessed that somehow I had, you know, protection, and I think it's amazing. So I get your point for sure. Not
Yeah.
wrong with people when they decide to stay where they were born and raised. There's not wrong
Right.
with that. I think,
No.
stories, all of us, we just need to follow our calling or our, you know what I mean, voice or our
Yes.
heart, intuition. You could call different names, but just listen to it. What's right for you, it's right for you. It doesn't matter where. It could be far away, could be your hometown, could be anywhere, but just listen to it and trust me, there's not other way to go. You just need to listen to your intuition. So I get you for sure.
I'm with
Amazing.
you. Yeah.
Beautiful. Two questions left. Let's do it. Right, before the next question, tell me a little bit talking about your business. So tell me, what do you like the most about running your business and what do you find most challenging about it?
Absolutely. So with my business as an alignment strategist, yep, that's it.
Be
The
with me,
core,
please. Be with me because I'm in contact with you. I love being connect with my guests. So be with me.
I'm right here. I'm right here. Bam. All right. So, as an alignment strategist, what I love so much about it and the core of it is it's what has been developed. You know, I developed something called the AOC, the Alignment Operating Core, which is really the culmination after years of studying everything from, you know, being certified into human behavior as a behavioral profiler, as well as hypnosis, NLP. I studied leadership, mindfulness, and neuroscience at Harvard University.
Wow.
That being said, is from, you know, that's the academic side of things. I've also founded, built, started, and sold 3 companies. So when I draw on my experience and I go through time and I draw the linear line of the journey of my life and compare and contrast it with individuals who I respect, admire, and that many others also respect and admire, and start to look at what are the common threads. Why do people do what they do? What influences them? What allows somebody to reach a point in life where they feel happy, successful, and fulfilled, as opposed to somebody who might have all the money in the world but be completely miserable. So the deeper I went down the rabbit hole, bearing in mind that my life 7 days a week is either working with my clients, the occasional surfing, the gym, and then research. I research for the past 5 years, probably about 6 hours a day between writing, you name it, all kinds of things. So that said, that's where I developed something called the AOC, the Alignment Operating Core, which ultimately, when it is followed and it's practiced, it can be used for leadership development very successfully, in personal development, scaling businesses, because get this, in my practice, what I focus on that nobody else really does out there, because when you look at consultants and you look at solutions that are out there, consultants, other, you know, many of the coaching programs, things like that, they're superficial. I'm just being direct. They're band-aids. With my last company that I had, I brought in some of the big names and ended up firing them very quickly because of the superficial approach. Here's the thing, and I'm going to get to the guts of this in about a split second, is the Alignment Operating Core. The first thing we start off on, and most people won't start here because they're not qualified to, but what we do is we start on identity. You tell me, you come to me and you say, for example, hypothetically, I want to have a globally recognized podcast. I want it to be generating 7 figures a year. And then I want to have a happy family and, you know, all the bells and whistles that go along with it. Well, I'll say, all right, I love to hear dreams. You know, the dreams are great. It starts with a dream. But before we can manifest that dream, because dreams quickly can flip to nightmares if they're not approached from a very, you know, pragmatic, logical, but grounded, realistic, authentic way. So the first thing I need to know is, who the hell are you? Do you know who you are? That's what I challenge every single one of my clients with. Because as we grow in business and in our relationships and interact with people and other energy forces, our identity is getting tested all the time. And what you're hearing right now is the single reason why there's so much misery in global, you know, in the global corporate structure, why so many people are just completely upset, completely besides themselves, because the noise that's taking place around us with social media and everything out there, and I'm just picking on them because it's easy, but with all that noise, people don't know who they are anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And they get put into these positions of leadership where they want to be an entrepreneur because it looks cool. They get sold on the brochure. But if that's not really who you are, what are you doing? There's a place for everybody in this world. So I work with leaders, high performers, who are very, very, very adamant and focused on growth. They recognize my clients, all of them across the board, they've paid tremendous sacrifices to get where they are. Tremendous sacrifices. And this is one thing, this is one way you can identify a true high performer out there. A true high performer is rarely concerned with making investments in their growth and improvement so long as it's the real deal and it's going to get them to where they want to be because they recognize they're wise enough. They're smart enough to realize that clarity today, in fact, here, where is it? Clarity today is a lot less expensive than having
Mhm.
to fix things later down the line.
I see.
Clarity today is a lot less expensive than having to fix things later down the line. And with the direction that everything is going, the global economies, even on individual levels, what is social media? What is all this noise out there? Well, if you've studied human behavior and evolution going back to tribal culture, of when we used to live in tribes of 50, 100 people, whatnot, you see that all of what's happening today is nothing more than another test. And it's another bar that civilization, that the human race is being put up against for evolution. And what we're currently testing right now is authenticity. Are you the real deal? Because there's a term floating around out there called trust recession. And we're in a huge trust recession because most people are just not trusting what they see online. They're just, it's like, I've seen this before. I've been scammed. I bought that course. It did nothing. So the trust recession is increasing more and more. So what does that naturally do? Supply and demand. If there's less water, the price of water is going to increase. So the value on authenticity is skyrocketing. So the very smart and forward-looking CEOs, executives, founders, generally the ones that are, very successful, we call them level 5. They're already making these investments because some of them are smart enough to realize that they hit this point in their business is scaled, it's gotten to this point. But now seeing where everything's going, it's really important now that their team themselves and their team are all on board with each other. They have similar values. They have a similar identity. And the mistake most of them, a lot of people out there are making, oh, I got that figured out. They look at it as a soft skill, but it's actually the single definer between who's going to cross that finish line and be relevant in the future as opposed to who's going to be left behind.
I see.
Yeah. So
Great.
that's what we work on. We go back and forth between the identity and the AOC, and then we actually go into real business too with a lot of my clients. Because again, I had a cosmetics company. I had trucks on the road. I was doing bit. I was fighting for competing for shelf space with Fortune 500 companies in Whole Foods, CVS, Walgreens, and we got it. And you know how we got it? As a little tiny independent?
I'm just going to stop you now,
Authenticity.
Geoffrey, because I need to finish the format of the
Ah,
show. Be with
maybe
me.
fun talking with you, man.
Be with me. Be with me. Right.
Yes.
Next question is, if you could send one memory to your childhood self, what that would be and why?
Love that question. Love it. So, well, there's a few of them, but to answer the question with one would be Jeff, everything's going to be all right.
Wow,
Believe in yourself. Because in
beautiful.
my 20s, I carried a lot. I was stressed, anxious 24/7. I was the equivalent of, it didn't look like it on the surface, but inside, just like a scared little boy trying to figure out his way through this world. So if I could go back and talk to him, first thing I'd do is I'd give him a hug and I'd say, Jeff, you're doing okay. Everything's going to be all right. Just stay
Beautiful.
focused, stay on track.
Beautiful. Love that. Last question. Ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Last one.
It's contagious.
Yes, I got some moves in the end. Amazing. Okay. Last question is, tell me something that your best friends, what do they do that always comforts you?
I like that. They're always checking in with me. Like I have just a couple best friends that I consider to be best friends, but they contact me at least once a day. There's a text message or a phone call. And you know what? Our relationship, it's not like like these long messages. It's just little signals that say, "Hey, I'm still here."
Wow.
And I love that.
Okay, so your best friends, they're watching this interview right now and have a moment, an opportunity to send them a message. What would you say? They're watching?
What would I say to them?
Yeah, they're watching right now.
Very simple. I love you guys. You're amazing. Couldn't do it without you.
Oh, sweet, very sweet. Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to say some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Yeah.
Let's start with money.
Freedom.
So one word for fear.
False.
Okay, life,
Blessing.
family,
Blessing.
love.
Love.
Okay,
Pleasure. Happiness. Yeah.
okay, religion,
Faith. God.
sex,
Pleasure.
Poli-
Procreation. Uh,
politics,
Tune out.
friendship,
Huh?
friendship,
Friendship. Precious.
desire,
Feeling.
regret,
Nope.
success.
Individual.
I like that. Wish,
Dreams.
happiness.
The goal.
One word for Boston.
For Boston? Red Sox.
I've heard that before. Actually, fun enough, the last time I went to the US, I visited Boston, Cape Cod, a few places. Provincetown, the gayest place I've ever been in my life. I knew it exists. Someone suggested, and I went to see beautiful. I've never seen so many beautiful mansions in my life. Driving to Cape Cod, you know what I mean? Wow, beautiful. One word for Florida.
Florida. Tropical.
One word for USA.
Big.
One word for martial arts.
Essence.
Amazing. And the last one now, if you could define your business in one word, what that would be?
Impactful.
Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend, define Geoffrey in one positive and one negative word only. What they would say about you?
For a positive word, then I'm positive.
Okay.
Optimistic. Yep. Negative word, might be idealistic.
Wow. What's your star sign astrology, Geoffrey?
I'm an Aquarius.
Aquarius. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's play now, Geoffrey and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time.
I love it.
Before you ask me the question, Geoffrey, tell me what is being spiritual for you?
What is being spiritual? That's all about your connection within yourself and your creator and into your core. That ties into alignment too, into what I do professionally, because we do bring that part up. It doesn't matter what faith you are.
Mm-hmm.
The key is that, having that connection to the source. We all came from somewhere, respecting that, honoring that, and connecting with that, and allowing ourselves to listen to that, because that's where our ancestral wisdom comes from, the way I see it. That's where our special skills come from. That's where our energy comes from. And the more somebody tries to move away from that, the louder it will often get, and the more tormented they end up becoming inside, as opposed to just surrendering to your essence, which in of itself is surrendering to the universe, surrendering to God, and allowing yourself to begin the journey to align and really get into tune with your purpose and why you're here, what you're here to do, your mission.
What will be the title of your memoir one day?
It's a great question. The journey. The journey that this kid from Boston never saw coming.
Oh, sweet. And when people read your memoir, what's something that would you like people to take with them?
Well, the most important thing to me that would want them to take away from is that I cared, and that I moved with nothing but positive intention. That,
Wow.
I definitely wasn't perfect in my life, And I definitely did some dumb stuff when I was younger, but I was never a dummy, and it never came from a bad place.
Wow. Okay, Jeffrey, you can ask me a question now.
Sure. Oh, my turn. All right. Perfect. So, since you left Brazil and you moved to Europe, what has been the biggest and most impactful thing that you have experienced, which helped shape you to the man you are today?
What a great, great question. Wow, what a great question. Okay, I could answer, I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to answer the first thing that came to my mind, literally the first thing that came to my mind. Live in Brazil, as you know very well, left home so young, with this full of dreams, full of, excitement, scary at the same time as well, all these emotions and feelings all together, you know.
Yeah.
There's something that life that's taught me since, I started this journey on my own. And I can tell you, Geoffrey, I think for me, what I've learned through this journey, and I still learn every day like everyone else. We're still gonna learn forever. We are in a you know what I mean, in a school that's never gonna uh,
Right.
we're never gonna finish. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
always the learn. But what something based on your question, I would say that the end of the day is down to us. You know what I mean? You're gonna have people helping you. You're gonna have people guiding you. You're gonna have people supporting you. You're gonna have people on the same path with you. But everything is down to you. Everything, it's how you're gonna, put your hard work, how you're gonna put your mind, how you're gonna put your love, how you're gonna put everything together, because you are the main person on the ship of your life. You're the main captain. So in the end of the day, things gonna happen, beautiful, bad, challenge, things gonna happen. But at the end of the day, it's down to you to resolve, to learn, to move forward. You know what I mean? Again, people gonna support you, gonna push you, gonna pull you, gonna, be by your side. But at the end of the day, it's down to you. Nobody's gonna do the homework. They're gonna guide you, they're gonna help you how. But if you don't do the homework, if you don't do the thing, it's never gonna happen. I learned that very quick when I arrived in Europe, because back in Brazil, I was already living on my own, but my parents, they were 2 hours away by car from me. So there's always a plan B for me at the
Yeah.
time. But when I moved to Europe, there's no plan B anymore, just plan A. That's
Yeah.
it. So for me, this lesson was very quick. I need to learn, but really quick. I didn't have even time to understand at the time. I need just to learn, and life put me straight away that. So back to your question, that one of the
Mhm.
lessons I've learned straight away, that down to us, everything, you know what I mean? As you said, everything is, you need to put, everything on it, energy, work, tears, sweat, everything, you know what I mean? And if you don't, things not gonna happen, things not gonna move forward. So that's a lovely question, and that's my answer for you. It's a very genuine answer. I've learned that very quick life, and I'm so grateful for that, because life just showed me straight away. Okay, that's how things happen now when you don't have a plan B, just plan A. So let's do it. So yeah,
Acceptance. A lot of acceptance, I'm hearing.
100%, 100%,
Yeah.
100%. And again, I'm so grateful for every movement, every tears, every loneliness, every smile, every challenge, because it molds the person I am today. And I'm sure in 10 years' time, I'm going to be grateful for this moment I'm right now. And it's always like that. We never get there. That's what I've learned not long ago. We never get there. There's always something for you to learn, to improve, you never get there. And when you mentalize that, you feel more modest about life and about others,
Yeah.
for sure. Great question.
Yeah. I totally get it. Where in Brazil are you from, by the way?
It's a state called Mato Grosso.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 hours and a half by plane from Rio, São Paulo. So you're in the very middle of Brazil. Yeah, it's
Yeah. I've been to Campo Grande.
Campo Grande, really? Oh my God,
Yeah.
very close. Wow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
why Campo Grande? Why that area?
That's a long story, but that story started out with a night in Delray Beach. But long story short, I had a friend in Campos Grande that I went and visited and spent about a week and a half there. I got to tour the whole area. Her family has huge cattle farms out there, tremendous, lots of cattle. And then
Yeah.
it,
Did
was-
you
it
go to
was it was huh?
did you go to Bonito? Bonito?
I don't
Bonito.
know.
It's an area called Bonito. It's beautiful. I mean, beautiful means bonito. So it's an area. If you Google it, just Google Bonito in near Campo Grande, Mato Grosso do Sul is the state, and you're
Yeah.
gonna find it. Bonito, very
Okay.
famous. Yeah,
Is
amazing.
there, she took me to a winery. Is there a winery in Bonito?
No, I've never been there before. It's like a place where you can find those, it's like how can I say, a preserved place. Like they have like some rivers, some fishes.
Oh, I think I heard of this place. We looked at that.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes. It was like a few hours away. Okay.
yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Jeffrey, for the interview. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks for being so kind and accepting the invitation. And before we go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Absolutely. A message that I would like to get out there is for everyone, anyone, doesn't matter what your position is in life and where you are, because just remember, real status comes from character, not external, and that you're on your path. You're on your journey, and getting more centered involves getting closer to who you really are.
Amazing.
Explore that question. Who am I and who am I becoming? That's the
Wow.
next question. Who am I becoming? And let your actions, your decisions that fuel your actions from this moment forward after listening to this, align with who you're becoming. That's the surest way to reaching that.
Beautiful. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks
Awesome.
again. Thanks for the interview and keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Okay. Enjoy your day.
Yes.
Okay.
Likewise, William. I appreciate you.
Thanks so much. Bye bye.
All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye. See you next time.